Hi Collective, welcome back for another channeled message of what Spirit wants you to know right now. If you're new, thank you so much for being here. If you're returning, how you doing, Star Family? It's your girl, Lady Leo, and we're going to dive into the energy. Be sure to hit the like button so you can tap into the energy with me. And this is a collective for air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. All right, y'all, we're going to go ahead and hop into these messages. Hi, y'all, how you doing? Welcome. All right, air signs. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Hi, I am. Hi, Mills. What's going on, Mills? That's an highest message, Super Spirit. What's just in the energy? What's just in the energy for air signs? Stillness. It's a time for stillness. Okay. Love and light, peace and prosperity to you as well. Thank you for being here. Hi, Morpho. How you doing, Morpho? Hi, I'm Jane. Welcome. So stillness. There's a need for stillness here. It's also Aquarian energy. So this could be about some sort of like renewal. See, like there's like the Aquarian symbol right there. What else is here? Overall energy. Thanks for the love. I love you too. I'm sending all the love and light back to you times 10. How y'all doing? Joy. So there's a need to create some sort of stillness or find stillness. Something about some sort of peace. Serenity. Like you see how this heron, I think that's what this is. Is that a crane or a heron? One of the two. Either way, it's like a water animal, you know, and it's just like standing on one leg. It's balanced. It's peaceful. There's like a sense of serenity. You know, like even the water that it is, it's standing, it's very still, right? And that's to help create some sort of place to experience joy. Look at the dragonfly on there. You know, it's like something's blossoming and you're getting ready to go like get some sort of like nectar. You get to experience something. Hi, how you doing? Welcome. Thank you for being here. What else is here? Overall energy for air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Air signs, you might feel like you want to be outside, especially since it's starting to get warmer. You know, I had to come outside because it's warmer out here than it is in my apartment, but I can't touch the thermostat, you know. It's going to mess the whole thing up if you touch the thermostat. Y'all know the rules. Rest. It is a time for you to rest. All right, there's a bear on this card, and it even looks like it's speaking of some sort of like hibernation. So for some of y'all, this is a message that it's okay for you to take time to rest and to hibernate and to reserve your energy, okay? For others of you, y'all are coming out of a time of rest. You're coming out of that hibernation, right? Because I was just talking about like you're wanting to get outside. You're wanting to get out and about. Give me a few more. Hiya, how you doing? Welcome. What else is here? Sacred. Sacred gifts. Starfish. There's a lot of like geometry on this card. Okay. Air signs, I feel like there's a heavy message coming through of it's the time for you to get in realignment with some sort of like spirituality for yourself, whatever that looks like for you, right? For everybody, that's going to be different. Maybe you've recently gone through some sort of experience or experiences where it's having you question yourself. You know, or maybe you're feeling a lack of direction or guidance or that structure, you know, to keep yourself within the lane. But there's something here that wants you to remember how sacred you are and how sacred your energy is, you know. Give me a few more, Spirit. Hiya, how you doing? Hi, Mar. Hi, Truck. I play a game called Ebony, and sometimes there's a game that has a character that's a psychic, and she looks so much like you. Oh my gosh, are you really? Yeah, DM me a screenshot. That's cool, Janet. All right, Spirit, what else is here? Defend. Adaptation. Scorpio energy. See, there's something about you too. So there's something about how you're sacred, your energy is sacred, and you have to defend that. So, right, so you've been through these really difficult experiences. There's a lot that you found about yourself, or you're finding about yourself in this stillness, in this time of rest, right? And it's like you're returning to some sort of like sacred path or way of being or mindset. You know, it's like really getting in touch with some sort of spiritual something there, like direction, guidance. And it's because it's like you're creating the sense of peace for yourself, and it's like Spirit saying it's something that you're going to have to defend. You know, that's why you have to protect your sacredness and who, what, where, why things are in and want your energy, right? You've learned a lot so that you could adapt, right? You become very adaptable. And that's what it is that you're leaning on during this time, is all these different things, right? Because you're having to, if we got adaptation on that card. There's also something, I'm seeing like these octopus tentacles here. Like there's just like, there's 8. And then there's like this, it's almost like you're working on creating something for yourself, maybe even the stillness, so that you can rest and experience joy. You know, but there is, maybe you've even, there's something here about defensiveness too. It's almost like finding a balance of knowing what to invest your energy into, you know. Of course, you're going to have to defend this sense of peace, this sacred energy that it is that you created for yourself, that you've aligned yourself with on a soul level, right? So, but there's also a very tactful way about going about it too. So there's something about the way that it is that you're expressing this or projecting this defensiveness out. It's almost like you're showing up in an energy where like you're confident and you're asking for respect, and, you know, for people to respect those boundaries that you have in place, respect you in general. But you're not coming off in a way where you're unapproachable, or that, you know, you're not open to connect with new connections, if that makes sense. Okay, something about that. Take it as it resonates, y'all. It's kind of coming in real quick. All right, give me one more. Hi, David. How you doing, David? Hi, Gemini girl. What's going on, y'all? Air signs: Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Give me one more. Overall energy. Collaborate. It's like some sort of ant on this card, or insect. So, there's going to be a need to collaborate with something or someone, okay? And I feel like, you know, it's like a lot of these experiences, like you're having to protect your peace because of who you're coming into contact with, and the energy coming towards you, or even right now in the present. There's going to be a need to really use your discernment on who is in alignment to collaborate with and who is not. Okay. See what we got going on here. My table's a little shaky, y'all. See what I mean? It's like you're trying to... even my table's wobbly, so it's like air signs. It's like you've been trying to create some sort of like stability for yourself. Things may have been a little wobbly, like my table right here. 333 on the clock. All right, Spirit. That's a nice message here. Overall energy. Air signs. 6 of Swords. Moving into calmer waters, out of chaos. Processing through information. Moving towards that sense of peace, right? That stillness. See all the choppy waves in the back, but she's coming into this water that's calmer. You know, that was the first card that we got out, with stillness. The water still. So you're moving towards some sort of peace, What else is here? Ooh. Strength. That's what the piece is. Because of your strength, because of your faith, because of your courage, because of your patience with yourself and that inner beast, right? Because that's where it is where we start healing and we go within and we do all this inner work. It's because usually we've been put in a situation where we've been acting out of the ego. That's that inner beast. That's that impulse on those emotions, or that fear, right? Or hurt, pain. So there's something here that you're moving towards this piece because of this inner strength that it is that you have. What else is here, Spirit? Give me one more. Overall energy. Hi, Spencer's Finest. Hi, TLD. How you doing, love? Welcome. Give me one more. Overall energy. Six of Swords, Strength. The Magician and the Queen. This is beautiful. The Magician, powerhouse energy. So someone's calling their power back here, and this wasn't easy for you to do. This whole process up until this point, finding the stillness, learning what it is that you're willing to accept, what you're not willing to accept. You know, and now it's like you're getting ready to take this journey into this new territory, this new era, this new chapter, this new beginning, and you're having to use very, very strong discernment on what it is that you're giving to and what you're allowing to take from you. A lot about loving yourself, okay, listening to your intuition, and a lot about surrendering, okay, to God, Source, Universe, whatever that looks like for you. Surrendering to this stillness, especially if you had like a childhood, or you have anything that ties into like growing up in really like chaotic situations, or maybe your home life, your family style, like the functionality of it was very chaotic. You know, it's like you're learning how to be okay in this sense of stillness and this peace without needing to create some sort of chaos or allowing chaos to come in, right? Okay. What else is here, Spirit? Hi, y'all. How you doing? Is your phone acting up? How you doing, Roxanne? Hi, True Blue. Hi, Sandy. Hi, Roxanne. How y'all doing? Okay. Best and highest message here. The True Blue Empress. Welcome. What's the situation for air signs? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. What's the situation? Two of Swords. Here's that confusion, that lack of clarity. Right? Those situations that you've been in, you didn't know what to do. You haven't known what to do. It's caused a lot of indecisiveness. Not being very aware. Not having all the information or seeing things clearly. Okay. Tell me about the Two of Swords. What's influencing this energy? What's influencing this indecisive energy, this indecisiveness, this lack of clarity and confusion? It fell on the floor. What is that? It's good to see you too, love. The Chariot. About what to take action towards, passionately. It's like someone's been pulled in two different directions here, and they can't see, and they're confused, and they don't have all the information to make the best decision to heal. To like, there's a choice on what to go towards. Cancer energy. We have Leo here with Strength. We have Gemini here with the Magician, and Cancer here with the Chariot. All right, Spirit. What's the challenge? What's challenging the energy here? Air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. The Queen of Pentacles. Yes, the challenge is that stability. Something about nurturing, something growing. Something about like the health of something. So some of y'all that may be like situations, allowing situations to have so much power over you that it starts to affect your health, okay? Some of y'all, this could just be situations that weren't growing. You know, it's like, that's what it is. You're learning what to invest into. What is going to be good for your garden? What's going to be good for your forest that it is, that you're growing? Lots about this, like, you know, the challenge is a lack of patience, a lack of security, stability, practicality, being grounded, maturity, those things. Okay, give me one more. Tell me about Queen of Pentacles as the challenge. Also, y'all, air signs, this could have something to do with the mother. All right, I got Queen of Cups and Queen of Pentacles here. Okay, so this could be like, you know, I was telling you about these chaotic, like, childhood relationship dynamics or home dynamics. All right, it could have something to do with like a mother wound here, because that was coming up earlier, so I just wanted to bring that up. Okay, tell me about this Queen of Pentacles. Page of Cups. Again, the childhood thing, y'all. Do y'all see that? I cannot make it up. Like, you see this person here and they're like kind of like, almost looks like a teenager on this card, and they're like thinking and dreaming, you know, when pigs fly, right? When pigs fly and his feet are actually hanging off here, it's like believing in yourself, believing that you're going to have some sort of security or stability. Okay, look, here it is again. Six of Cups at the bottom of the deck, y'all. Childhood stuff. This is past stuff that it is. You know, and y'all, the trauma that it is that's created with our parents, we usually end up trying to resolve in relationships that we have with other people. So that could be a big deal with, like, it may not be about just about like some sort of like romantic partner. This could have to be just with like connections that you collaborate with in general, you know. Okay, what's in the current energy? Current energy. Air signs. Yes, this is collective. This is collective. I gotta run an errand, so after I post this one, it'll have to be when I get back to do water signs. I got water signs collective to do. And then I'm going to get me some dinner and eat and take care of a few things. And then later this evening, I'll do a June monthly collective. Okay. King of Cups. Interesting that I said something about a relationship. So some of y'all, this is about like a romantic, or the romantic relationships or very emotional connections that is that you get with, that you tend to lean towards. Hold on, y'all. I got to get this card up off the table. Floor. So King of Cups. Lots about this emotional maturity. And here we go again with this energy of stillness. So that seems to be an overall theme for y'all during this time right now, air signs, is this need to find this peace and stillness and protecting that for yourself. What else is here? Current energy. What I say. Thank you, Spirit, for the confirmation. We are on point, y'all. Y'all must be in alignment today. Here's that defensiveness, right? If you cannot treat me with love, respect, and kindness, if you can't be supportive, if this is not going to be equal give and take, you can't come into my energy right now. I'm busy. See, all these people have their eyes closed. All these people have their eyes closed. Every single one of them. They're not looking out there. They're busy working within. Do you see that? I just noticed that. You see what I mean? We're not paying attention to the external. Okay? We're understanding, not understanding. A lot about this solar plexus energy too. So there is a lot about this confidence, all this yellows and, sorry y'all, hold on. I try to show y'all what it is that I see. This is like a solar plexus chakra right there, you know, and you're protecting, you know, this is about social circles and how we show up and our self-esteem, you know, our success, what we're successful at. Okay, and then we have like this inner strength that talks a lot about this confidence that it is that you have. All this yellow, you're confident in what it is that you're creating. You're confident in the resources and the skills that it is that you have, you know, to create something here. All right, what else, Spirit? Ten of Cups, to create your ultimate happiness. With the connection with self and the connection with others. It's like there's something about some sort of like a bigger picture here. It's bigger. It goes back deeper and it's more in depth. Now I'm seeing like, I don't know if you've ever played Minecraft, or like a game with a map, or like when you start like going towards like the end of the map, like it just starts regenerating, creating new, you know, it's kind of like that. It's like you don't have everything that it is that you need to know about something yet, but trust and know that you have the resources, the insight, the clarity, the skill set to create it with God's source universe, right? There's something that you're surrendering to. You're finding some sort of faith. You're realigning with some sort of guidance and the stability, and knowing that even though you can't see it being created or coming towards you, know that it's there. It's happening. Okay. Take that as it resonates, y'all. Resonate messages here, Spirit. What's the energy coming towards air signs? Hi, y'all. How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Gemini. Hi, Darlene. Energy coming towards the collective. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. The sun. The sun is shining on you. We got the sun showing up here. Happy. Here's this happiness. Lots of joy, lots of happiness. Okay. Where is that at? Lots of this confirmation and synchronicities. Energy coming towards the collective. Tell me about this. Hi, Elusive. How you doing? The Seven of Pentacles. Look, the sun is shining on what it is that you want to grow, what it is that you're investing in. That's why it's important for you to do whatever this is and create this stillness for yourself, right? You had to go through all these experiences. So you're coming out of confusion. For those of you that are still stuck here and you just don't freaking know, okay? You're coming out of a state of confusion. You're gaining it. Like, it's the sun. You have the knowledge, the insight, the wisdom. You know what to invest in, and you know that it's going to grow. Like I just said, that it's being, you're co-creating. You're co-creating God's source universe, whatever that looks like for you. Okay. Energy coming towards Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Queen of Swords, Two of Wands, and the Knight of Swords. All right, this is a lot about movement. Hi, y'all. How you doing? What's going on, y'all? I missed y'all. I haven't been able to be here for a while. My life's just been... Well, it's a hot mess right now. We won't get into it. Anyway, Queen of Swords. Let's stay focused on the reading. Queen of Swords. Someone's putting a lot of thought. This is about strategy, intelligence, on how to take this action towards something. See, both of them are looking in the same direction. All right, both of them are kind of like looking. You see just the side profile, like you're watching them plan something, think on something, making decisions here. And it's like once you can figure out what that is, you don't need to wait anymore. You're ready to go. Hop on that bike and jet off towards what it is that you want. You know, so there's this energy coming towards you of this knowledge. This knowledge is creating some sort of happiness or passion of what it is that, and confidence in what it is that you're invested in, what it is you're growing and building. Or that it's worth some sort of time and effort to work towards. And you're putting a lot of thought into what it is or what direction it is that you want to take. It's like you're checking all, you're checking the fine print. Thank you, Spirit. You're checking the fine print. But once you get there, it's like, once you know, you're ready to go. But that's why you're in this energy here, is you're looking at the information. You don't want to be impulsive. You want to look it over and think on it first. You want to make these smart, intelligent decisions. You're not trying to just be all willy-nilly with something. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. What's challenging the collective? What's challenging the collective? Two of Cups, Nine of Pentacles. The challenge is some sort of harmony and union with some sort of value, the value for self, or the value that it is, or something about accomplishments. I'm talking about Two of Cups. For some of y'all, this is about a whole relationship, but I wasn't trying to get into like just specifically love with this collective. I'm trying to focus more general. Seven of Swords. Yeah, there's a lack of harmony here in what you perceive to be valuable or worthy, or maybe what you think other people perceive you as. Because there's something here where there's something that you're sabotaging, or you overthink, or you talk yourself out of, or you're lying to yourself about. That you're not good enough for something, or that you don't have the skill set, or the resources, or the talent. Give me one more, Spirit. Tell me about this Nine of Pentacles. Eight of Swords. Yeah, because you keep yourself stuck in this. If you keep yourself stuck in the loop of overthinking something, remember that that's an illusion. You're trapped in your own. You're keeping yourself wrapped up. Entanglement. I don't know why that word specifically is so important for somebody. Something about entanglement. Anyway, okay, Spirit. What about strengths? What's helping the collective move through these energies? What's helping the collective move through these energies? Death, rebirth, Five of Swords in reverse, the Devil in reverse. Okay, what's helping you move through these energies is this Scorpio energy, okay? It's this death and rebirth, releasing old versions of yourself, old belief systems, old storylines, the things that you tell yourself that make you who you are or define you. It's like there's a lot of this that you're letting go of. This has a lot to do with this like deep inner rooted childhood, something to do with like a family dynamic or trauma and programming having to do with those things, you know. But there's a lot of that it is that you're here that you're shedding, and it's helping you. It's helping you find some sort of peace of mind or clarity or something about some sort of like closure that it is that you're gaining with something. Because you're no longer in your head about it, right? We've got the Five of Swords in reverse. This death and rebirth is helping to support you get out of your head and no longer feel defeated, or give you some sort of victory over a certain situation, or it's taking away some sort of stress. And ego and fear and some sort of, it's like a, I heard something about the big boogeyman, like the big boogeyman under the bed. Whatever that means for you, I don't quite understand what that is. Hold on, let me sit with it for a second. Tell me about the Devil in reverse. Tell me about the Devil in reverse. The Moon, the Ace of Cups, and the Eight of Cups. Let's see what this is. The big bad boogeyman, the big bad wolf, okay, the scary monster seems to be what it is that you don't know when it comes to the emotional connections that it is that you invest into. No matter what type of emotional connection that is, you know, it's like the big bad wolf, the big boogeyman is, you don't know if they're here to stay or they're going to walk away. And even for some of y'all, it's I'm going to hurt you, or I'm going to leave you before you leave me type of thing. For some of y'all, it's where you've been sabotaging certain connections because you get caught up in some sort of fear or some sort of past trauma, and it's like you're looking at situations from that lens. You know, there's two different things going on here, right? But your perspective of it is coming from this lens. So that's what that is. It's like you fear the unknown of the emotional connections that it is that you invest in. Are they here to stay, or are they going to walk away? Some of y'all, it's also the strength. Do I have the strength enough to walk away if I invest emotionally into this, if it's not for me? So take that as it resonates as well. All right, what's the overall spiritual advice? What's the overall spiritual advice here? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Okay. We've got the Three of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, the Star, the Six of Cups, the Nine of Cups, and Temperance. How you doing? How y'all doing? Welcome. Thank you for being here. Airplane. Air signs, get ready for takeoff. That's somebody's sign. Y'all need to put the little airplanes in the chat. Drop your airplanes in the comment section down below, collective. Okay, y'all. So, overall spiritual advice. There's a lot of work that it is that you've done on yourself, and there's a lot of skill sets that it is that you're learning. Okay, so there's something also here about collaborating with people, places, and things that are stable, or that are going to support stability, security, peace of mind, structure, longevity. This is what supports your healing, your rejuvenation, your growth, your evolution. This is what helps you put yourself in alignment to capture that wish, what it is that you want, what it is that you pray for, okay? There's a lot of past work that it is that you've done. There's a lot of this healing the past, right? There's a lot of clarity and hope for some sort of, this could be about even healing a connection with somebody from the past here, somebody from childhood, or maybe somebody that reminds you of that, or some sort of past life connection. By the way, y'all, when I specifically talk about past life connections, I'm talking about like in cycles, okay? So you may have had like a 10-year cycle with this person that was in the past life cycle. Okay. Sometimes it's past life as in like not as who you are in this life. You were somebody else in a different life in a past time before now. Okay. So anyway, just to clarify that. But there's something about healing something from the past. And that's what's giving you all this emotional fulfillment and this happiness and this joy. And it brings a lot of temperance and healing. And there is a lot that you've had to learn how to regain some sort of balance and patience. You know, there's a lot that you're giving yourself grace for. There's a lot that you're learning to give other people grace for. You know, it's like through this journey, through this healing, through this ascension, through this whole process of letting go of these fears and creating this stillness for yourself and reprogramming your brain and healing and all that stuff, you know, it's like you have this inner knowing that we are all one. And sometimes the other person mirrors back certain things and aspects of ourselves. Sometimes not only are we operating out of that wounded inner child, the other person is acting out of a wounded inner child as well. You know? So forgive them for they not know what they do. It's not always about you. There's some sort of need of like, you don't need to know. You don't need to be right. There's some sort of higher wisdom and higher knowledge that it is that you're gaining, that like you see both sides of everything. And you can find the center piece and find balance and find temperance in that. It's really beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so we've got Sagittarius here. We have Aquarius. We have Capricorn, Cancer, Leo, Scorpio, Earth signs, feminine, masculine. Water signs, feminine and masculine. We have Gemini here really heavy. Everybody's here. Except for fire. There's not a whole lot of fire here. A little bit. So this has more to do with mental and emotional stability. You know? All right, air signs, I hope that you found a message that resonates with you. If you did, and you're watching the replay, be sure to subscribe, hit the little gray notification bell so I can see you again. Everything that you need to know about me will be listed in the description box below. If you're ever here on Instagram and you're hanging out with me live, thank you so much for your time and support. Thank y'all so much for popping in here and hanging out with me for a minute. Oh my goodness, you can't share the picture? Why? It won't let you do it? Okay, well, I'll follow you. I'll follow you. Let me screenshot it. Okay, so I'll go in and I'll follow you in just a second. All right, what else was I going to say? All right, I'm going to get this posted. I have an errand to go run, and when I get back, we'll do water signs collective. And then later on this evening, I'll be doing a June collective, just everybody generally for the month of June. So if y'all are interested in tuning into that, that'll be later this evening. It's currently 4 o'clock Central Time where I'm at. I do have personal readings open, you all, if y'all want to get in line. I don't think I've had anybody send payment yet. I'm about to check it. I'll give y'all an update when I get back, okay? All right, y'all. I'll see y'all. Keep your head up. I'm so incredibly proud of y'all for doing the work, you know, and y'all give yourself some grace. Let out a deep sigh of relief if you were past this hardship, you know, if you're already in the energy of finding clarity and moving on and creating the stability for yourself. You know, if you're in the midst of the storm still, if you're still confused, know and trust that the information that you need is coming. You're going to make the right decision ultimately of where you're at on your journey and what you feel is best for you during this time. And, you know, Spirit's there to guide and support you as well. All right. I love you. I love you. I love you, Starseeds. Until next time, love and light.